Okay, one more before the break, and that's Astral. Major divisions here being animal feeds, that's the Meadow business, and poultry. So Meadow, of course, is a supplier to all sorts of other agricultural businesses as well as themselves. And in the poultry business, they're a major producer of broiler chickens. Those are the ones that are grown quickly for consumption in the household market, both as individually quick frozen portions, whole birds, organic birds, chicken pies, all sorts of other things. Earlybird is the brand you might have seen at the supermarket, as well as County Fair. Headquartered in Pretoria, that's where they are based. Unbundled from Tiger Brands back in 2001, Astral was. Also been up and down, but a good, solid business. Market capitalization, 4.2 billion rand. Price earnings ratio looking dead low at 4.96. Dividend yield historic, 11.5. Wow, is that a basis of prior distributions? Share price moving up, down? What's going on with those numbers?
Look, the share price was 200 Rand a share about 6 months back, and it's now close to 100, and they've done record earnings of 20 Rand a share and decent dividend yield. So
that's what surprised me is if you look at the most recent results and numbers, they look quite good. So why is that share price basically almost halved?
Well, I think we touch on it, and it certainly are the headwinds in the industry. We know what's happened to the maize prices, wheat prices, soya prices, etc.
So what you're saying is because of the drought, those are all going up.
Those are,
and
like
the rand is weak, so the foreign imports.
Yeah, and that's a concern for local South Africa. We know that inflation comes from a lot of maize in the local front and from food prices. So huge concern, but this is touching these guys' margins directly.
In the chicken business.
In the chicken business.
But isn't it a benefit for them in the maize
feed business? That
sort
would
of,
be
not really, because they can't just jack up prices, because then their customers won't be able to buy anything from them.
Well, I think this year might be different. So I think there's no feed in the system on the local front and the drought side. So I think on that side they'll be buffered. So there they might get the same margins and pass it on to the consumer. I think it's probably a scramble this year in winter time to actually get some animal feed from any of these guys. There's not locally available at the moment if you talk to some of the farmers.
What about the AGOA thing and also because they put import tariffs, but then people started sending it via Europe, then they tried to curb that, but then the deal with the Americans allows for a certain amount of chicken coming in. So is that a real concern, Brazilian chicken and American chicken coming in, which makes it hard for the local producers?
I think so, and you would have thought a few years back, I spoke to Chris Kitter 3 or 4 years back, who actually runs this company, and he said at 9 Rand to the dollar or something that the importers will start disappearing, but we're sitting at 15 Rand 50 or 16 Rand to the dollar, and they're still huge, and certainly if you look at the graphs that these guys are putting out there, it's still in the up, and the prices are actually been declining for the local consumer, so it's a very tight margin spot. So the guys would have their pricing correct, but certainly long-term wise, it looks like a nice buying opportunity from a graph point of view, but it would be interesting to see what the next 6 months numbers will be on these companies.
Okay, so as far as the hot or not is concerned, are you saying you wouldn't buy them now? You're going to take a wait-and-see attitude? Your sense is the share price has come to a level where it ought to be relative to its future prospects?
I think so, but I think in the next 6 months you might get a nice buying opportunity in this industry.
So what are you going to call it, hot or
I'm going to go for not hot at the moment.
Okay, I'm going to go not hot too. Good, that's it. 2 not hots there.